This is the new 2018 iPad Pro 11-inch. I got the 1TB version space gray. Opening the iPad, you can see the brand new design. It's almost edge to edge. Now it does need a little bit of bezel so you can actually grab and hold the iPad. And of course, that little bit of bezel covers up the Face ID sensors. It also has a brand new chassis. It is very similar to the older iPads, actually the very first iPad, and it kind of reminds me of the iPhone 5 and the iPhone SE design. Now on top of the iPad, you for some reason have a cell band, even though I got the Wi-Fi only model. Now, the Wi-Fi always transmits through the Apple logo actually, so I'm not sure why they put a cell band over here. Probably to make it consistent throughout all the models. Now you do have a camera bump over here. It is much larger than the previous 10.5-inch iPad Pro and the iPhone 7-inch iPad Pros. And of course you did get a flash. It's a quad LED flash, I believe. And coming towards the bottom, you get the smart connector. Now it's absolutely essential to have a smart connector here at the bottom. That way, you can connect a smart keyboard, for example, or any other accessory that supports a smart keyboard. I believe at the moment, the only thing that supports a smart connector is the keyboard. On the bottom, we have speaker grills, 2 speaker grills to be exact, and a USB-C connector, which I'll get to in just a second. On the top, we also have some microphone inputs and speaker grills up here. We also do get a power button, which is very nice. On the right side of the iPad, we have the volume buttons. Down is to, of course, decrease the volume, and up is to, of course, you guessed it, increase the volume. Now over here, you may ask, what is this? It's to inductively charge your Apple Pencil. It seems that people are getting used to the modular design of the iPad. So you have, many devices. You have an Apple Pencil, a smart keyboard, a case, and an iPad. So you attach modules to the iPad. I believe this is what the Apple Pencil should have been from the start. And on the left side of the iPad, you just get a microphone. That's it. Nothing too special there. It also features inside a brand new A12X chip, which should be much faster than the previous A11X chip. Now, I have not noticed a difference between the 10.5-inch iPad Pro and this new iPad, so I really don't know. I guess the processors are really that fast to the point that I cannot tell a difference. This iPad is not all positives, however. I do have many negatives. For example, you've got Face ID. Normally you use an iPad like this, so you always end up covering the Face ID sensors. Whenever you want to unlock the iPad, you gotta move your hand away and then unlock it and then put it back. It actually gets very annoying after a while. On top of that, when you want to download new apps to verify from the App Store, buy a new movie or a TV show or music or whatever, you gotta, move your hand away to verify that it is you who is making that purchase. Moreover, on websites such as Amazon and Canvas for school, you gotta move your hand away or else you would need to type in the passcode yourself. This process gets very annoying from time to time. I do foresee in the future that Apple could embed the Face ID sensors underneath the screen, making them underneath the middle of the screen, so that way no matter how you hold your iPad, you never end up covering the Face ID sensors. Now, of course, as with all latest iPad Pros, you do get the 120Hz refresh rate called Pro Motion. It is buttery smooth. However, people should not freak out over this because the 2017 iPads adopted this. And 1 year is a long time in technology history. 1 year is like 1,000 years. I do want to mention some more gripes with the iPad. For example, USB-C here is not a game changer. All it has ever done for me is so that I can use my MacBook Pro charger with the iPad. That's about it. How you can use it to connect a standard SD card reader. However, my primary camera uses an XQD card. And XQD card readers are not available on the iPad, and the iPad cannot download the footage from the XQD card. Trust me, I have tried. You cannot get a driver from the internet to make the XQD card work with your iPad because you simply don't have downloads from the internet, which is very bad actually. It seems that now Apple is making all these ads like what's a computer and iPad can totally replace your computer and everything like that. However, I did not see that until they make it so that you can download apps from the internet. Now, as I've mentioned before, standard SD card readers work. However, when you import footage, you can only import to photos, which is very bad, and your footage can get very disorganized after a while. Now, the only good editing softwares, video editing softwares for the iPad, are iMovie and LumaFusion. That's about it. iMovie, as you probably know, is extremely limited. You can't even have multiple layers and, do compound clips and stuff like that. That is very limiting. LumaFusion is extremely hard to work with. For example, you don't have like the snapping features like you have on Final Cut Pro and in Premiere Pro. Now when I saw the new iPad in the Apple's keynote, I was like, wow, USB-C, I can finally connect anything I want to the iPad. Well, no. For example, I cannot connect a printer, I cannot connect a USB SuperDrive, I cannot connect anything except maybe a monitor external, which I don't know why would you need it for an iPad, and you can only connect a standard SD card reader. Once again, as I've said, my primary camera does not use a standard SD card reader, so that's a big no-no. On top of that, the new 11-inch iPad Pro design makes it impossible for it to attach to DJI controllers for your drone, like a DJI Phantom or a DJI Inspire 2. These are the primary drones filmmakers use. It's absolutely unbelievable when Apple is trying to make the perfect iPad. They strive for perfection, that they do not consider companies like DJI to make their iPad work with the controller. I've been bashing on this iPad a lot. However, there is a positive I do like. The Apple Pencil. I love this smaller form factor. Its matte finish also makes it way more comfortable to hold. And I do like the flat side. Feels like a more natural pencil. I like taking notes on the iPad. However, on a standard piece of paper, you have like resistance. However, on an iPad, you don't have any resistance. It's very easy to sort of jumble up all your words, make them unreadable. But, all in all, I do like taking notes on the iPad because I don't have to worry about losing a single sheet of paper, and that's my biggest problem, organization. I also really don't like the Apple Folio case for the iPad. I mean, for one, you don't get the Apple logo, so nobody will know you spent $80 on this bad boy. But that isn't my only complaint. I mean, it doesn't cover anything except the front and the back. So, if you drop it, you're probably gonna damage it real bad. But all in all, for an iPad, it's good. It's definitely not gonna replace my computer as I thought it would, but an iPad does its job well. Another thing I do want to mention is that when you have no home button, you're required to adopt all the new gestures. That has not been a problem at all on the new iPad. I absolutely love the new gestures. That is what a lot of people are concerned about. This is your Bring Sales here, and I will see you in the next one.